Welcome back. The UN's Children's Fund has slammed government's AIDS policies. South Africa has the highest number of AIDS orphans in the world, and UNICEF says government isn't doing enough to protect children from the syndrome.
A new report by UNICEF shows that 1.2 million children have been orphaned by AIDS in South Africa. This is more than in any other country in the world. It's not clear how many of these AIDS orphans are also HIV positive. But the UN body says at least 240,000 South African children are living with the virus. Just over 12,000 of them are receiving antiretroviral treatment though. UNICEF says all of this bears testimony to what it calls government's denialist approach to HIV and AIDS.
If the program for prevention had been more aggressive and more successful, and if the program for antiretroviral uptake had also been more aggressive and more extensive, then those two together would definitely have had a dampening impact on the number of AIDS orphans today.
So what was the health department's response to all this criticism? They were unable to comment because they haven't as yet been able to access the reports because their systems are down. Kale Naya, E-News, Johannesburg.
It's been another hectic day for parents, pupils and teachers. Schools in the coastal provinces have reopened a week after their counterparts inland. And there were plenty of tears and tantrums on the first day back.
Nearly 1 million children descended on schools in the Western Cape alone, and many were swamped.
I'm not going to turn anybody away, but you, as a parent, must have patience with us because you can see the amount of late registrations that we have this morning.
Hines Park Primary managed to cram nearly 1,000 learners into 18 prefabs. Not all of them eager to be there. It's not just overcrowding that's causing headaches. Vandals struck dozens of schools during the holidays, Eitzig Primary among them. And learners began their new term with no running water. Teachers here have tried their best to clean up the vandalized classrooms, and these grade 1s have been so busy on their first day, they've hardly even noticed. And the Western Cape tops the list when it comes to passing matric. The Eastern Cape is second from bottom, though Education Minister Naledi Pandor is putting a positive spin on that performance.
This province is one of those where we had an improvement in the results. Not yet good enough, not yet at the level, but an improvement nevertheless.
Pandor seeking a better matric pass rate nationally this year, following 3 years of decline, but she's refusing to set any target. Scheherazade Safla, E-News, Cape Town.
An average of 40 South Africans were killed on our roads every day over the festive season. But despite this, Arrive Alive is claiming success for its campaign to reduce road deaths. The traffic watchdog says 1,645 people died in road accidents during the holidays. That's 81 fewer than in the same period the previous year. But an alarming 645 of those victims were pedestrians. Gauteng recorded the highest death toll, replacing KwaZulu-Natal as the province with the deadliest roads. The ANC has missed out on another opportunity to take over the city of Cape Town. This after a minor party was expelled from the city's DA-led coalition government. Executive Mayor Helen Zille kicked the African Muslim Party out for making overtures to the ANC. Without the African Muslim Party, the coalition no longer had the majority it needed to govern the city. But the Independent Democrats came to the rescue, ditching its agreement with the ANC in favour of a partnership with the DA. The deal means the coalition now has 113 of the council's 210 seats. Israeli authorities have launched a criminal investigation following allegations of corruption against Prime Minister Ehud Olmert.
Israeli Prime Minister Ehud Olmert will be the subject of a criminal investigation. The Minister of Justice claims his business practices are questionable, and the state controller is to scrutinize all his business deals, particularly his role in the privatization of an Israeli bank in 2005 when Olmert was finance minister. An apartment he purchased in 2004 will also be under the microscope. The Prime Minister's office claims they have no knowledge of such an inquiry.
After the break, Gershon has your sports news, and it's countdown time for Orlando Pirates and Black Leopards. Both have new coaches, both have 13 points, and both are desperate for a win.